Hello there.
Hi,
Hi, and what is your name?
my name is Kathy Smith.
Kathy Smith. Who named you Kathy?
Who named me? My mommy and my daddy.
Your mommy and dad. Do you know exactly which one of them?
No, I don't.
What day was you born on?
May 9th, 1957.
And that was a...
I don't know what day of the week it was.
Speaking of that, what's your earliest remembrance?
Going to the beach with my mom and dad.
How old were you?
3.
3. Wow. Oh, that is a good one. You remember learning to write your name?
Yeah, I do.
Whoa.
Yeah, I do.
How? What you remember about it?
I remember the sister helping me guide my hand while I was writing it.
Sister.
Yes, I went to parochial schools.
Ah. Do you have any siblings? Other...
Well, it's kind of a strange story. I do. I'm adopted. So I don't know my siblings, but supposedly I have 4 sisters somewhere.
You happen to know part of their names or anything about
I know
it?
absolutely nothing about them. When I gave birth to my first child, I did a search, for a health history, and that's when I found out that I actually had 4 biological sisters, and I thought was pretty cool. But I don't know who they are or where they are or anything.
Your father and your mother's name that you know of?
You mean my birth parents or
Yes.
my?
Either.
Well, my mom and dad's name is Bill and Polly, and my maiden name was Curran, and they had me from like 2 days old, and as far as I'm concerned, that's my mommy and my daddy.
Of course.
Yeah. My aunt and uncle raised me, but I knew my mother and father. But even to this day, when you say my parents, they picture pop
Right.
up right away.
Right, definitely, yeah.
What's the earliest school you remember? Early part of school? Do you remember going to preschool or Catholic school? Do you remember the first grade, second grade, or any of
I
that?
remember going to kindergarten.
Whoa.
Yeah, I remember going to kindergarten. It was just down the street in our neighborhood, and I remember lining all up for a big picture where we all had caps and gowns on. And yeah, my dad looked so proud because he was a professor at a local college, so education was important to him. So every time he put on a cap and gown, it was special.
What was the educational night, Monday through Friday, like at your house early on? We'll say from 0 to 5, or 6, where you can remember.
Education was ongoing. My parents were always teaching me things, mostly life skills. But of course I had to do my homework every night.
Every night?
Every night. Well, my mother was an English teacher, and my father was a professor, so there was no break for Kathy.
Did you have any chores?
Yes, every day. Every day.
What was those?
Housework, dishes, cleaning up my own mess.
I can identify.
If you made a mess, you were required to pick it up and clean it up yourself.
Now, as being as adopted, who was it? Any other kids your age in the household, or was it any?
No, I was the only child.
Oh, he was lucky.
My mother was ill, and they were probably very lucky to get me because she was sick soon after I was adopted, and she was very sick most of my life, but didn't take away from her being my mom.
Oh, okay. Who was the first friend you remember that you made?
My first friend was a girl named Susan, and we hung out until she passed away around the age of 43 of ovarian cancer.
My sister.
Yeah.
Yes,
So,
same thing.
She had a couple of kids, and we kind of split and went to different states and all, but we stayed friends for all of our lives.
Were you going to the same school together?
No, we didn't go to the same school. We went to different schools. She went to public school, I went to private school, but we lived near each other, so we hung out.
Who was your first school friend?
I didn't really have that many friends in school. I hung out with my buddy Sue.
Okay. Now I have a friend named Larry Reed back home. He's older than me. In fact, I'm 60. He's 61. To this day, the vice principal, he want to slap. He hate that man, and I have a teacher too that I truly, dislike. I don't want to hurt, but I'm saying that. Do you have one?
A teacher that I dislike?
Yeah, that came up in for some reason.
Yeah, I do. I do. Her name is Mrs. Salter, and she was my 5th grade teacher. She kept me back in 5th grade. I had to do 5th grade again because of her. And she was really mean. She had the popular kids that, she really loved and hung out with. And then she had the other kids, and I was one of those. And I was picked on and so on. She did stuff like, if you chewed gum, she'd make you stand in front of the class with gum on your nose.
Ooh.
For an hour or so.
Ooh. Mrs. Hainsworth had a dirty bird role. She would make you she didn't care if your clothes was wholly or torn, but they had to be clean, and she would check your underwears and your socks.
Well, that's not fair. Some people can't afford
no,
knot
that
holes.
was that was really bad. 10th. Your 10th grade. Do you remember when you were, your 10th grade? Where were you? What were you doing?
My 10th grade? I was still in parochial schools. I was in high school at that time, and I had just gotten in a car accident and broken probably most of my right side of my body.
Okay, let's just back up, rewind. The day before the car accident. Take us from the day before the car accident to the accident.
I was in school. I was getting ready to go to a basketball game. It was a normal day at school. I hung out at school, and then I rode my bike down to the park, played some tetherball, I think.
Tetherball?
Tetherball?
What is that?
It's a game that they play in New England. It's a big long pole with a ball on it. The ball is on a string that's about more like a rope that's 8 feet long, and then you try to wind the ball around your way or wind the ball.
I have seen it, but never knew what it was.
So yeah, I was playing tetherball, and I rode my bike home, and while I was riding my bike home, I got in a head-on collision with a car, which put me in the hospital for maybe 6 to 8 months.
Were you scared?
Was I? Yeah, I was. Yeah.
Can you tell us some of the things going through your mind right after, other than pain?
Well, I was in shock when it happened, so I remember telling my dad in the ambulance that it was okay, that I'd be okay. And I wanted to know what kind of a car hit me, because it just wouldn't be cool if it wasn't like a cool car,
Was it?
No, it wasn't. It was a family station wagon, and the gentleman that hit me, he was watching his baby do something cute. At least that's what he told the police. So, yeah.
Between 10 and 15 after that accident, did anything else dramatic happen in school, out of school?
Well, I made some really good physical strides. I got out of the accident. I was in traction and a leg brace and a body cast, and it was a big ordeal, and they said I wouldn't walk again. So then I started a cheerleading or pom-pom squad at my local high school, and so I did that until I graduated. But yeah, we had to prove the doctors wrong.
Now, as soon as you said cheerleader, I'm a guy.
Uh-huh.
And guys at that age, okay, so let's, have you had a boyfriend any time, or are you seeing someone? When did it first start, and how did your parents, give us that romantic scene?
Oh, I had a boyfriend in high school for, his name was Phil, and I went out with him probably all my high school years. By the way, I still have my pom-poms.
You do?
I do.
Oh,
I
well,
do.
we'll see them later, maybe. Come up later.
And yeah, we were, you know, the high school in love, but you know, as usual, that doesn't work out. People grow out of each other and into something different, which happened to us too. But we're still good friends. In fact, his wife and I used to hang out.
Oh, okay. So, but Phil was the first romantic person.
Phil was the first romantic, yeah.
And
person.
so, at 15 now, while you cheerleading and stuff, you going with Phil.
Uh-huh.
All right, and this is all through high school.
Uh-huh.
All right, high school is over.
Yay!
Yay? So where we headed now?
I hung out for a while, tried to figure out what I wanted to do, and then I went to college. I went to Husson College, and I managed to break my knee on the way to school, which held me up for a little bit, but I managed to finish that. And
How did you break? How did you do it?
I got in an automobile accident. It was snowing really hard. I was going down a hill. There were many accidents on the hill, and I didn't want to hit the people standing on the hill, so I veered off and hit a tree instead, and which caused the motor to come in the front seat with me and broke my knee and some other body parts.
Do you still drive?
Oh yeah.
Look like you and cars, you know, have had a rough beginning.
Well, you know, I came to peace with that, and we gave it up, and I'm not in any more accidents.
Oh, okay.
I gave that
cool.
up.
I turned it out. Well, Kathy, we're going to stop right here for the first part of this, and we'll be back later.
Okay.
And I would say thank you.
Thank you.